What's up, Josh Paul? It's a Messianic King, man. Oh, where is it? No, whatever. But like, I get mad at these guys. Like, I see these guys like Joseph Kahn, or he's like, I went up into this house and this cup fell, and it was a prophecy, and man, you know what? Whatever, bro. All my shit's verifiable. That's why I get upset. It's like Joseph Kahn and Dr. Jeremiah and all these people that they're like, I know what revelations mean. Pat Robertson, dude, my shit's verified. You can verify where I was at, right? At the moment. I have physical proof. I have physical proof of everything that I say, man. There's not one thing that I say that you can't physically verify in the world with the time, everything, where that I was there, that I have physical proof from God. I have millions and millions. Joseph Kahn, like, one time I went up into this place and this cup fell over. All right, man. All right, what else you got? And then these numbers mean this, and this is what this means. No, man, bro, like, do you have physical? Because I have physical proof of it, man. That's why I get upset, man. It's just like, whatever. Because I am the message. Even the Vatican, the Pope, and all that. I can physically explain the prophecies. I can physically, my dates, everything. It all adds up, man. It's not just like I'm like, well, if you just have faith, you don't even have to have faith, man. Like, you don't have to believe in me or not. I have physical proof, physical, tangible proof. I can show you and you can touch, man, in their words. But it's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about, like, the covenant between me and God that was just fulfilled. And I'm not going to get into the whole story because, like, there's so much detail in it. Like, because I walk with God constantly. It's not like I walked into a room and a cup fell over, and then like 20 years later he talked to me again. It's like constant, man. It's like from God's mouth to my ears to you. That's how it works. But I mean, a lot of times I don't even tell you guys, like, I tell you about like this much of what he shows me and what's going on. A lot of stuff I'm just like, okay, whatever, because I don't have time. Because you know what? You're either deniers or you take advantage of what I tell you, and we're not doing that shit anymore. But anyway, so this covenant between me and God, right? And like, there was a plasma storm. Like, I don't even know, what was it? 4 days ago? You can physically go and see there was a plasma storm that came from the sun. It's not something that I made up. It actually happened. It was like, what was it? Like 4 days ago, right? I don't even know. No, it was Monday. Monday was the plasma storm, right? I didn't even know about it, but I had made this covenant with God, and I'll show the paperwork later on with Adonai and all that. But that's not important. So it happened on Monday. Physical proof, because it happened. It was in the news. Everybody knows it. Dominus. All right, so that happened, right? And like, I've been trying to get out of Grand Junction because God brought me here because of Jeremiah. Because, yet again, the lion will come out of the forest, the wolf will come out of the desert, the leopard will stalk between cities. And I'm going to explain to you what that means. Ominous, bominous. I don't speak Latin, so it don't mean nothing. Right? So anyway, I was trying to go donate plasma, and we made this. Where I go in, like, before I go in to donate this plasma, man, I'm like walking down the street. It's a Tuesday. It was this Tuesday. Ominous, dominus, bominous. Oh, I have a cup. Right? If I oh, sorry. These people make me mad, man. Like, Slice Stallone's been invited to the Vatican if I haven't. Fucking Bill Clinton got invited to the Vatican. He went to Pedophile Island. He's been to the Vatican. I haven't. But anyway, right? So, I'm the word of God, man. I'm the son of God. I can prove it. Ominous, bominous, Magoganus, Magog, Mario Bergoglio, Magog, Antichrist. Right? So, I'm sorry, I'm worked up, dude. So, like, I'm on my way to go there to donate this plasma because I get this money because I'm trying to get to the next place because I really do walk with God, right? And like, he doesn't let. This is not again. So, I'm going down to this plasma place, and it's Tuesday, right? And the sky opens up, and the snow starts falling on me, man. But there's no clouds in the sky. I'm looking at, I made a video of it. I'm like, ominous, I'm gonna put it up, Jehovah's Covenant, the prophetess. Right? And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I get down. It's about like almost 3, and I get down to this plasma shop, right? And I'm not even thinking like, I'm kind of thinking about the covenant between me and God, and if I give this plasma, it's a blood covenant, and there's some other stuff that went on that led up to. But I'm like, I'm actually what I'm thinking is like, man, I need a fucking couple bucks so I can get out of town, man, because I need to get up to the Holy Mountains to finish the Transfiguration. And there's all kinds of other shit that we're doing. The ominous, abominous, holy wickedness, right? So I sit down and I'm like, I don't want to go in there yet. I don't have any cigarettes. I find this cigarette on the ground. I start smoking it. I open up YouTube, man, because I'm like, I don't want to go in there yet. Because I get denied all the time, and I don't know what I'm going to have to walk into, and it's like a big fucking pain in the ass all the time. So I got mentally prepared to go in there, like, for whatever mission that God's going to send me on. Like, I might walk into the plasma, and then it, like, turns into, like, guess what, Josh? You're going to go to the highest point of the most desolate place and go starve for 10, I never know, man. Like, I'll run into all kinds of brick walls, man. So I sit down and open it up, and it's, the Chrism Mass is off, man, at St. Patrick's Cathedral. It was Tuesday. You can verify proven this. It was on the NIS, that it was there in this. And, like, they're fucking, like, I turn it on, and right when I turn it on, it's right when they're consecrating the oil for everybody. They're consecrating the oil that they're going to put on the heads, and then they consecrate the host. I turned it on right at that point. That's right at the point that I sat down right before I'm going to go in and give this plasma. And it starts going on, and it dawns on me. See, even though you guys don't know in this, what's going on in this, like, there's two worlds going on, and you guys are consecrating me right now. You're turning me into the oil and into the body and blood of Christ. And then I'm going to go in here, and they're going to take this plasma out of my arm, and he's going to return the blood, and it's going to be a blood covenant between me and God. See, that's how God thinkiness, abominus, Jophiliconinus, Solocupanus, right? So I'm sitting there, and like right when so I watched that, I watched all the way through, and then I go in, and I go up to the guy, and I have my documentation. He's like, oh, you don't have the address, which is part of something that me and God did, which I'll show you guys when you're worthy. But he's like, but you can go ahead and donate today, right? So I go through the whole process, donate, the numbers and everything match up, whatever. And that's the blood covenant between me and God, right? Well, big dinner has a dominance. So I walk out, right? I got my money. I walk out. I get out of there like, I don't even know what it was, like 6:30, man. I'm like, man, I'm gonna, like, here's what I'm thinking, because I'm abominous. I'm like, I'm getting some cigarettes, a beer, dude, and a sandwich. I'm going in a Wendy's, right? Because Wendy's kept popping up, kept telling me to go to Wendy's. So I go into Wendy's. Nathan the Prophet calls me again. Like, I answer the phone. I'm like, man, I'm busy, bro, whatever. Nathan the Prophet, he's a pain in the ass, whatever. He's my homie. But he called me right at that time, and I, dude, whatever. Then I walk outside, and it's like at 7 o'clock here in Grand Junction, which you can prove in this if you go to the weatherness and the newsness. It starts fucking hailing on me right after I walked out. And you can prove in this because you can go to CLS Plasma-ness and see when I walked out of Donation Center Rest. It starts hailing. You can match up those two things. Hail to the King. Is God fucking accepting the offer and accepting the covenant between me and him as a blood covenant. Amen. You can prove this. It's not Nona-ness. It's not Jonathan Cup-ness. Right? It happened, dude. You can go to the weather of Grand Junction and know that happened. You can go to my records at CSL Plasma and know what time that I walked out of there. And you can match those two things together. And you can match up that the Mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral. Well, I think I hit it. It was a live stream. It was at 3:30 or it was like 2:30. I can't remember which one it was. It was 2:30. It might have been 3:30. But what time that Mass was, and you can look at the time of when they fucking blessed the oil and blessed the host. You can match all three. You can physically go and I can physically prove all three of these things that you know that this isn't a bullshit story, and that happened. So I was like, okay, man, whatever. I got my money, whatever. But God makes me do everything in twos, man. And he's like, so it's Thursday, today, and like I gotta go back and whatever. And Nathan the prophet's like, yeah, you need to go back to the planet. I'm like, what do you even care, dude? Just leave me alone, Nathan the prophet. The prophet. Fucking, he's my friend, man. He's my homie, man. He fucking annoys me, but he's cool. But because he's my homie. He is. Anyway, some stuff happened last night. I get up this morning, man. God gives me some messages, and I leave to go on my way down there. And like on my way down there, it pops in my head because I open up YouTube and it says the Chrism Mass in the Vatican on Thursday. The Chrism Mass was today on Thursday. Obama this. And that, you can prove that shit because it's right there on Thursday. So I'm like, okay, God's gonna make me do this again, right? And the reason that I know this is because on my way there, there's a Goodwill shop. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go and God, because it says in Zechariah, put a fair mitre on his head. But I didn't know this was I was going to buy some pants. But I go in and I check my balance on my card. Obama on my card, man. And it's $7.74 is how much money I have left. 77. How many generations Obama is between David-ness and Jesus-ness? 77. 74. That's your born. Obama-ness, you can check my birth certificate-ness. Right? It's all provable, man. And Obama-ness, you can check with. So I go in there, man, and I look around. I can't afford anything. I'm looking at Golden State pops up because I'm trying to figure out where to go next. Golden State pops up and some other stuff. I'm like, all right, maybe I'm supposed to go back to Reno. I'm supposed to go to California. There's a lot of messages come at me. Obama-ness, Obama-ness, right? So this is the only thing that I can afford. And the only reason I buy it is because there's this blue fucking string on it with a J. So I'm like, all right, I buy this, man. Even though it's getting warm now. Obama-ness, put a fair mitre-ness on his head-ness. And I walk out, man. As soon as I walk out, I go over to the bus station. I'm sitting there. And my phone rings. My phone rings at 11:26. My birthday. 37. Obama-ness. And you can prove that too, man, because that's right in the phone records. Obama-ness, physical proof-ness of God-ness. Right? And it's Nathan the prophet. And I don't answer. And then he calls like 2 more times, and I answer the phone finally. I'm like, what, dude? Nathan the prophet annoys me, bro. Nathan the prophet annoys David. But he's my homie, man, so I put up with him because, like, you know, God puts everybody, you know. He's like, they just called and your grandpa died. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, they just, because, like, before that, I was watching Outnumbered, man. I was making this joke about Jesus being my grandfather, and, like, but he's actually my brother, and God saying to me, why can't you be more like your brother? Why can't you? And like all these like celebrity, like rich celebrity kids that are like, I had so much to live up to. Can you imagine having to live up to that, man? My brother was Jesus, right? And I was making this joke about it, but I was like, Jesus is my grandfather. And he calls me up and he's like, your grandfather just died. They just called here. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, they just called. And I said to him, like, anyway, some dude just rolled up. Anyway, man, I fucking said, whoa, okay. I said to him, I said, like, my grandfather died in San Francisco. I was just looking at the Golden State shirt. It was God telling me, like, this happened like 5 minutes before I get this phone call. And I said to Nathan the prophet, I said, my grandfather, I knew what it was about. I said, my grandfather, because I don't want to confuse Nathan the prophet, dude. He gets confused enough, bro, being around me. He's always like, everything's cursed. This is cursed. I went into this curse. He's always cursed. Is always his word. I'm like, shut up, bro. Just right. Well, he's Nathan the prophet, man. So I'm like, it's cursed. This was cursed. This didn't happen. Sir. God just blessed us. He's always like that, man. I was like, just relax, bro. But I'm fucking like, I can't tell him what God was talking to me about. Because it'll just fucking throw him off on it. Like I said, dude, nobody even knows, because they don't. Nobody even knows I'm staying there. Nobody even has that number. He was convinced. He said somebody called up. They're like, they called the office and said your grandfather died. And then they called him up in his room and said, the person who's staying there, their grandfather died. Who do you think that came from? It's God, right? I'm on my way. So I'm like, okay, this is off, obviously, about the Last Supper. I have to go. And I have to watch, because I opened up YouTube and the Chrism Mass showed up. And I'm like, okay, I know what I have to do. Because I already done it, because God runs me through it a couple of times before we do the actual thing. I'm not saying that like, the USCCB, like the New York thing, that was real, man. But that was the first, there's the first, the first to be the last to be the first, man. So, like, he did it to me. Exactly. He does it sometimes he makes me run through it like about 18 billion times. I don't even know how many times I've done Jeremiah, bro. And I don't even really think it's about me completing it. Sometimes I just think it's about him telling me, you're the word of God. Well, you don't believe it? You're the word of God. Here, what? I'm going to do this again. You're the word of God. This is what he's basically telling. You're the word of God. You're my son. You're fine. Whatever. However you want to take it. Abominus! Right? So, like, I'm like, okay, I gotta watch the Chrism Mass because I'm going back in here to donate. Because I have to do the prophecy again. I have to complete the blood covenant. It's not even prophecy. It's another blood covenant with God, man. Because that's basically what we were doing. Right? Think about it. I'm making a blood covenant. And there's documentation and everything else that I used to make this. That, like, God's my landlord in my documentation. I'm not even going to get into it, right? And there's all kinds of numbers, there's all kinds of things that happen. And I didn't even know it when I was filling out this paperwork and fucking created this whole fucking thing. It was me and God fucking making a covenant. And then I go in there and he pulls the blood out of my arm and he puts the blood back in. It's a blood covenant. It's a blood pact that me and God just made, right? Essentially. So right. Oh, the Chrism Mass shows up is right when they're doing it. Oh, anyway, we already did that. So I'm walking down the street and I turn on the fucking Chrism Mass at the back end. I watched like the beginning of it. I watched the prophet's house. But then when I got there, I was like, man, I'm fast forward. I fast forward for like to the 55th minute. And I'm like, I'm skipping all this because it's really important. Consecration. And I'm walking down the street while they're consecrating, before the consecration. And I get to this, like, there's this place here in Grand Junction called Lincoln Park, which is Abraham's Park, Abraham Lincoln. No, it's Abraham Lincoln. No, it's Abraham. It's all the same to God. It's Abraham's Park. I sit down right across from it, not thinking that, in front of this computer shop, right? And I'm watching. Well, before that, let's get to the part. See, there's like so much detail, right? That, like, I mean, this is the short version of this story, right? So on the way down, as soon as I turn on the Chrism Mass and I'm walking down, right, and it's going on, and I'm just sitting there and I'm walking. I don't even know what's gonna happen. God's leading. I look down, right, randomly, and here's this cup. Right, looks like a carpenter's cup, doesn't it? Like, have you seen Indiana Jones, the third one? Looks like a carpenter's cup, doesn't it? Just sitting there. I'm like, I pick it up because I'm like, I'm gonna need this. I didn't even know what for. I go, I need this cup, man. I need this carpenter's cup, man. It's the carpenter's cup, right? And because they're commemorating the Last Supper, but I wasn't even thinking that. I just know, man. I look at it like, because I got to fulfill the ritual. I'm like, this is carpenter's cup, man. I pick it up. It was just sitting there, like randomly sitting. This is how God does shit. Shit will just be sitting there. So I pick it up and I'm walking down the street and get to across from Abraham's Park in front of this computer shop. And I sit down on the steps, right? And I'm watching the Mass at the Vatican, right? And the consecration starts right as I sit down, right? And I'm just sitting there. It's the middle of the day, man. It was like, I don't even know. It was like 1:30. Yeah, it was like it was like 1 o'clock. It was like just about 1 o'clock. I'm just sitting there, right? And the consecration starts, and God tells me, because God likes smoke for something. He's like, the consecration of the oil starts, and he's like, light up a cigarette. So I light up a cigarette, blow it in the cup. And I sit there and I do that. I blow it in the cup. You know what I'm saying? Because this has to do with the dream. Like, you really have to follow. Like, this goes back to the last time I was in Denver, right? But like I'm blowing the smoke into the cup as they're consecrating oil, and then as they bring the oil up, he tells me to bang 4 times. He didn't tell me to bang 4 times. I just did it rhythmically on my own, right? But it was God knocking, man. And they go up and they consecrate. And then they go into consecrating the host, man. And I'm sitting there. I'm just sitting there. For real. I wasn't drinking. I was just sitting there. Like on this dude's step. And all of a sudden, like in the middle, like when they start consecrating the host, this dude who owns the place comes out. He goes, "Hey, man, fucker," and starts fucking cussing me out. "You get out of here. I'm going to have you removed." Right? And that's the wrong thing to say to me because, like, I'm not the turn the other cheek, Jesus. I'm the second one, bro. I just looked at him and I go, "Oh, really, man? What the fuck are you going to do, man?" I said it. That's how I said it. I said, "What the fuck are you going to do, man?" "Oh, I'll have you removed." I said, "What are you going to go in there? What are you going to call the cops?" "Go call the cops, man." "What are you going to tell the cops, man? This dude's sitting here on my steps at 1 o'clock in the afternoon listening to the fucking Holy Week at the Vatican, and I called the cops on him because I don't want it." He goes, "You don't belong here," blah, blah, blah. But it completes more of the prophecy because this world will not love you. He's a computer guy in his computer shop. And I was like, whatever, dude. I get up and I fuck off, man. I walk about 20 feet down, man, because you don't tell me what to do. And I sit down on, like, the concrete thing, man. Right? Like, the sidewalk, the concrete. I sit down on it. And he comes out again, man. He goes, he starts out. I'm like, "This isn't your property, bro." "Oh, this is my property." "Oh, it is?" Well, now you're just right in the middle of this ritual saying that this is your property. So now everything that I've done, where I've walked and I've stepped, you've just made that so. And the prophecy of God. You've just completed that with your fucking dumbass. But I was like, because like, I'm not even doing it. I'm like, whatever, bro. So I stand up. I stand up and I stand on the sidewalk, and I'm on the sidewalk, and I go, "Here, now I'm on public property. You can go fuck yourself and get the fuck away from me, man." Right? "Yeah, you want to see how bad I can get? Blah, 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 blah. You better keep it pushing, man." I'm like, whatever, man. Some of it's God fucking having that happen, but hey, man, you don't come talk to me like that, bro. I'm not even doing it. I'm sitting here listening to the Vatican Mass for the Chrism Mass, and you're coming out and like, what is your, get the fuck away from me, dude. Anyway, I stand there for a while because God's timing is perfect, and I start walking. Right, I start walking, and I get to like I don't know, man. As soon as it gets to 3:37, or no, it was 2:37. I had to be there. Well, it was 1:37. 1:37. As soon as 1:37 hits, ring, right as the bells ring. 1:37. God's timing is perfect. That's why God had him come out and fucking move me along. But whatever, man. Fuck you. I'll talk to you. But like I had that trans. That's why there's a time for wrath and there's a time to turn the other cheek, man. There's a reason for that, man. Fucking, he was out of line, whatever. But everything's for God's purpose. It rains. And then I walk down, I get to 23rd Street. And right when I get to 23rd Street is when the whole thing, and 23rd is an important number. Anyway, I turn out, I go in there. And I completed the blood fucking covenant, man. Because that's how Old Testament works, bro. Blood covenant. Anyway, Josh Paul Hudson. Messianic King.